Good evening, everyone. My name is Elizabeth, the Education Coordinator for Marlene's Market and Deli. Tonight's special guest that we have with us is Rose Schrader. She is the Associate Director of the Natural Specialty Whole, Whole Earth Brands Company, representing tonight Wholesome, and she is going to be speaking on the fabulous topic of Wholesome, a Sweet Story. Thank you so much, Rose, for being here with us tonight. I'm so excited to learn.
Welcome, and thank you everyone for attending this presentation about Wholesome Sweeteners. I'll share information and insights about our parent company, the Wholesome brand mission, where our sweeteners are sourced and how they are made, as well as how our products are premium, both in quality and flavor. Wholesome is owned by our parent company, Whole Earth Brands. Whole Earth Brands has the mission of enabling healthier lifestyles and to delight consumers through our diverse portfolio of trusted brands. We are focused on producing sustainably, supporting workers and communities, and empowering healthier living. Our natural brands include Wholesome, which produces premium quality, responsibly sourced organic fair trade sweeteners. Whole Earth produces plant-based better-for-you sweeteners, and Swerve produces zero sugar sweeteners. Wholesome is dedicated to creating positive and meaningful change in the food system by bringing farmers, makers, and consumers together through better food. At Wholesome, our foods are grown sustainably, naturally, with care and attention, which connects us all in our love for making our best and sharing it. Wholesome is the leader in organic sweeteners with a focus on fair trade and now introducing Regenerative Organic Certified. Wholesome pioneered fair trade organic agave, sugar, and honey, positively impacting thousands of farming families around the globe. As Wholesome continues to lead and evolve sustainable sourcing to further benefit people and planet, Regenerative Organic Certified is our next endeavor. Some of our firsts include, in 2001, Wholesome brought organic sugar to the US, and in 2005, Wholesome helped create the Fair Trade Standard for sugar and launched the first fair trade sugar in the US. In 2008, Wholesome launched organic fair trade agave in the US, also leading the fair trade standard for agave. Also in 2008, Wholesome launched the first organic and fair trade honey in the US and helped create the fair trade standard for honey. In 2016, Wholesome introduced a green bottle for agave made with bioresin. In 2023, Wholesome has launched the first regenerative organic certified cane sugar in the US. This is packed in 72% plant-based bioresin. These pouches are made from sugarcane. And we are excited about the new and dynamic innovation we have coming forward in 2024. Wholesome directly partners with farm communities around the world to bring in the highest quality sweeteners. In 2001, our company was founded by our president, Nigel Willerton, to bring fair trade to the sweetener industry. At that time, there were other fair trade commodities, but not in sugar, which has a long history of inequity from its roots in slavery. Farmers individually benefit from the higher price paid to them for growing organically. We pioneered fair trade sugar, which for each pound that is sold pays an extra amount called a fair trade premium, collectively to the cooperative that each fair trade farmer belongs to. The farmer members of these co-ops democratically vote to self-determine how to best invest the fair trade premiums into their communities. Our fair trade premiums have contributed more than $25 million towards building schools, health clinics, and community equipment purchases. Wholesome fair trade sweeteners help agricultural workers around the globe achieve increased social justice while protecting the environment. This slide outlines some of the key efforts and contributions Wholesome makes towards sustainability and social justice. For example, land rehabilitation, including tree planting, is a practice among our beekeeping farmers. We are focused on organic agriculture. Sugarcane fields are often burned as part of the harvest process. However, our sugarcane fields are cut green, which reduces carbon emissions. At our regenerative organic certified farms, land management practices help improve soil health. Some of our sugar growing communities produce energy from incinerating sugarcane waste fiber. We are incorporating plant-based resin into our plastic pouches, starting with our new regenerative organic certified sugars and introducing a 100% post-consumer recycled content agave bottle in 2024. As we learned in the previous slides, worker well-being and equitable pay are key components of our focus on positive impacts for people as well as the planet. Wholesome sugars are superior not only due to our ethics, but also in our taste and texture. We'll show in this presentation how you can see and taste our differentiated flavor and quality. This has a positive impact on the results of cooking and baking with our products. Wholesome organic cane sugar comes from Central and South America. Most of our sugar is hand harvested. Typically in conventional agriculture, sugar fields are burned prior to harvesting. This removes weeds for easier harvesting, but that increases carbon footprint, reduces air quality, and is detrimental to the fauna that use the fields for habitat. For sustainability, we cut the mature cane in its green state without burning the fields. This is less convenient, but better for the environment. Our cane sugar has a beautiful blonde color because it is minimally processed. Cut cane is transported to the mill and crushed, and the cane juice is squeezed to extract it. That juice is heated and goes through an evaporation process and seeded with crystal. Then it is naturally occurring molasses is spun out to lighten the color. Conventional cane sugar undergoes many more steps of processing, including bleaching. Our sugar is vegan, which means we do not use bone char for bleaching, which is an older process more common to beet sugar. Conventional white sugar, of course, tastes sweet. Our cane sugar tastes sweet and also has a rich, warm flavor from the residual natural molasses it contains. From the cane sugar that we process, we also produce light and dark brown sugar. The difference between cane, light, and dark brown sugars is simply the quantity of molasses in the finished product. Our light and dark brown sugar are made from our organic cane sugar blended with our organic molasses. What differs from our product to conventional brown sugars is that their process simply sprays on molasses for added color. We actually blend molasses back into the sugar to deeply enrich its color and flavor. This is a key point of distinction for our product. The more molasses, the more flavor and texture. Our brown sugars are moist and tend not to dry out as much as conventional brown sugar does. From our organic cane sugar, we also produce organic confectioner's sugar. It is simply pulverized into very, very fine grains. This sugar is not bleached during our processing. However, it appears whiter than our cane sugar because when the grains become smaller, they become lighter in color. We process our powdered sugar to a 12x fineness, where conventional is typically processed to a 10x. We do add a small amount of organic tapioca starch as an anti-caking agent. Many recipes using powdered sugar suggest sifting it prior to use, and we do recommend that step because the naturally remaining molasses in our sugar does create minimal clumping. That remnant molasses creates a rich, warm, buttery flavor that differentiates it from conventional powdered sugar, which typically tastes sweet, but may sometimes have a metallic back flavor note. Raw cane sugar, turbinado, and demerara sugar are all names for the same type of sugar. This sugar has a larger crystal than table sugar and is darker in color due to more remnant molasses. These terms may be used interchangeably. The processing for this sugar starts the same as cane sugar, in which the cane is crushed and the juice is extracted, evaporated, and crystallized. The difference is that the sugar is seeded with larger crystals, and we leave in more molasses. Our dark color in this type of sugar is not due to adding molasses back in. Instead, the color is simply retained molasses. Because there is more molasses, this sugar has additional flavor compared to our blonde cane. The additional natural flavor is one reason people choose this sugar for coffee and tea. Our organic turbinado originates from South America. The non-GMO raw natural turbinado that we produce comes from Malawi or Mauritius. In conventional sugar processing, sugar which is still in the state containing natural molasses is considered to be in its raw form of sugar. This is the origin of the term raw sugar, which does not actually mean this is a raw food. Turbinado is a term which refers to the spinning of sugar in a turbine. Demerara is a region in Guyana near the Demerara River in South America where this type of sugar was first produced. Coconut sugar comes from the nectar of the flower that blooms at the top of the coconut tree. It does not taste like coconut. To harvest, the stem of the flower is tapped for its syrup. This can be performed up to 2 times per day while the flower is in bloom. Just like maple syrup production, this process does not harm the tree. The nectar is heated in open kettles and stirred until all of its moisture is dehydrated. This is simply minimally processed 100% pure dried flower nectar. Nothing added, nothing removed. This sugar has a lot of flavor without high-intensity sweetness. This is desirable in recipes for Asian cooking, sauces, and savory applications. Its bold, warm flavor pairs well with other rich foods such as coffee, chocolate, etc. Much like coconut sugar, sucanat is very minimally processed. The name sucanat comes from sugarcane natural. It is called panela in Spanish. Ours is made from organic sugarcane juice, which is simply dried. Nothing is added or removed. Sucanat retains its naturally occurring molasses, which contains trace amounts of iron, calcium, vitamin B6, potassium, and chromium. The sugar can be used in place of brown sugar. It adds rich flavor to baked goods and sauces. Regenerative ag is designed to address the ecological and social issues of interest to consumers, including the climate crisis, energy saving, and animal welfare. Additionally, our product addresses soil degradation and biodiversity loss, while our sustainable plant-based packaging made from sugarcane addresses both plastic pollution and food waste. At Regenerative Organic Certified Farms, practices like cover cropping, crop rotations, low tilling, composting, and more are employed to improve soil health. Livestock is typically integrated, which includes using foraging chickens that consume insects and fertilize the rows. Farms may include buffer strips of land between or surrounding crops. These are planted with native perennials to increase plant diversity and attract pollinating insects. Regenerative agriculture perfectly aligns with the Wholesome Sweeteners mission in its 3 targeted key outcomes: to improve soil health, foster biodiversity, and promote economic resilience in farm communities. In early 2023, Wholesome was proud to introduce regenerative organic certified fair trade cane sugars packaged in 72% plant-based plastic pouches. Our first offerings are a 26-ounce cane and a 24-ounce turbinado sugar. As we further develop our regenerative organic certified supply, we will expand into other sugar varieties and other types of sweeteners. Agave is a multi-purpose liquid sweetener that is 25% sweeter than sugar. It can be used to replace sugar or honey. In addition to the light flavor of agave, some people choose it because it has a lower glycemic index than sugar. The glycemic index is a rating system for foods containing carbohydrates. It shows how quickly each food affects your blood sugar or glucose level when that food is eaten on its own. Wholesome organic fair trade agave is grown from Weber Azul blue agave, which is native to Mexico. The juice has a terroir described as a very sweet flavor comparable to caramelized pumpkin with hints of citrus and tropical fruits. In Jalisco, Mexico, clay-like volcanic soil allows the agave plants to flourish with little to no irrigation. Our farmers hand harvest the core of agave plants, which are called piñas, due to their resemblance to pineapples. The foliage is left behind to compost, which restores the soil and prevents erosion. Our raw blue agave is sustainably harvested. Then the juice is pressed and lightly heated to 118 degrees Fahrenheit for 60 to 90 minutes. Our blue agave is also sustainably harvested with the juice pressed and filtered. Then it is heated to 176 degrees for 45 to 60 minutes. In October 2017, the journal Science reported that neonicotinoid pesticides have been suspected as a key factor in global pollinator decline. And in a study of 198 samples from around the world, 86% of North American honey tested contained neonicotinoids. There is also significant concern about the level of glyphosate, which is Roundup weed killer, that is used in environments in which bees pollinate. Few USA agricultural regions can meet organic honey standards, which require a certified organic forage zone with a 1.8-mile radius to the hives. Wholesome beekeepers tend hives in Brazil, where bees can fly for miles foraging on native flowers, away from conventional pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers, GMOs, and antibiotics. Our honey is USDA certified organic, fair trade certified, non-GMO project verified, non-glyphosate certified, true source certified, and 100% pure. The survey quoted on the slide shows that 100% pure and natural is the #1 attribute driving honey purchase decisions. Unfortunately, honey is one of the most faked foods in the world. Wholesome institutes numerous checkpoints in our honey supply chain to verify the authenticity and purity of our product. Our purity certification verifies that Wholesome honey is glyphosate-free, and True Source certification to verify that our product is 100% real, unadulterated honey. Wholesome Sweeteners partners with beekeeping cooperatives in Brazil, where our organic fair trade program helps to support employment that is both economically and ecologically sustainable for hundreds of families in some of the poorest areas of the country. As explained earlier in this presentation, in organic fair trade, each individual grower is paid for their product, and then an added fair trade premium is paid collectively to their cooperative members of the co-op. Our beekeeping co-ops have invested in constructing honey extraction facilities, purchasing specialized equipment, training their staff, as well as having used fair trade premiums to assist with certification expenses, planting of native honey producing vegetation, and installing water storage. In 2020, Casa Apis received a grant to begin an ambitious project with the goal of restoring depleted vegetation to sustain honeybee colonies during the dry season. The Casa Apis Reforestation Project has successfully planted over 70,000 trees in its initial years, with a goal to plant more than 200,000 trees during the entire project. Brazil's natural diversity is shown in the richness of species, in the unspoiled nature of the country's different ecosystems called biomes. The quote-unquote jungle of Brazil actually varies from savannas, barren mountain regions, and steppes to wetlands, mangrove forests, and dense forests full of giant trees. There are different biomes used for apiculture in Brazil: the Caatinga, the Cerrado, the Sertão, Atlantic Mountain Forest, Amazon Forest, Pantanal, Restinga, Cossé, Mangrove Forest, Pampas, etc. Our beekeepers in Brazil farm in a number of these ecosystems. The Caatinga is the dry savanna of the Northeast. This region is very dry due to low rainfall, and except for the Rio São San Francisco, rivers do not carry water most of the year. The climate is hot and the soil is fertile, although unproductive due to the lack of water. Vegetation that has adapted to this lack of water has long roots, so they can extract a maximum amount of moisture from the soil. These plants are also characterized by succulent stems that store water, and they often have small leaves that may even transform into thorns, which fall off during drought to reduce water loss. Low trees and shrubs predominate, along with a large number of cacti. Caatinga is the only exclusively Brazilian biome, which means that much of its biological heritage cannot be found anywhere else on Earth. Honey production occurs in the period from January to June, which is the rainy season. Our production comes from native vegetation. With nearly 2 million square miles, the Amazon rainforest is the largest tropical forest on Earth and contains 1/5 of the world's fresh water in a liquid state. The forest itself is not as uniform as it may seem, as the Amazon ecosystem is characterized by 3 types of vegetation. These include the Igapó forests, which are located in low areas along rivers and are constantly flooded. The trees there are about 66 feet high and adapted to life on flooded land. Furthermore, there are the Várzea areas, which are located on slightly higher ground and are flooded only intermittently. Home to giant trees and distinctive for their close canopy are the terra firme forests, also known as the dry forest, in Portuguese Mato Seco, but they are not flooded. However, they are anything but dry. The trees there have an average height of 98 feet and form compact forests whose interior is moist and dark, and which make up about 80% of the Amazon rainforest. Honey production occurs in the period from August to November in this region, mainly in reforested areas now recovered in native trees and flowers. As in the Caatinga, our honey comes from native flowering. The tangible impacts of this project have been a significantly lower rate of bee colony loss. Typical loss in this area is 60% annually, and in 2022, the areas planted showed a loss of only 16%. Casa Apis was recognized at the 2023 International Apiculture Congress as the leading project among 65 sustainability initiatives from around the world. Wholesome produces organic, fair trade, 100% pure honey. Our honey is called multifloral because the bees forage on an array of natural wildflowers deep in Brazilian biomes far from agricultural pollutants. The honey pictured has a rich, warm butterscotch flavor. The raw, unfiltered version of our organic fair trade 100% pure honey retains its naturally occurring pollen and propolis because the honey is only warmed to 110 degrees. A fun fact is that Wholesome organic fair trade raw, unfiltered white honey is pale in color because it is produced by bees foraging on white flowers. This honey has a light and delicate flavor that makes it perfect for sweetening without overpowering other food flavors. Organic fair trade molasses is made from sugarcane sustainably grown in South America. Our molasses contains naturally occurring vitamin B6, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and iron. Our rich-bodied and robust flavor perfectly complements gingerbread, cookies, sauces, and more. Wholesome organic light corn syrup is made with organic corn grown in Europe. This natural sweetener contains no artificial ingredients. Wholesome organic corn syrup is the only organic alternative to synthetic corn syrup. This delicious product has a smooth texture and incomparable flavor. It is perfect for baking pies, making candies like peanut brittle, or whipping up glazes, sauces, and sweetening beverages. Wholesome organic table syrup is a traditional family favorite with clean ingredients and no high fructose corn syrup. Our delicious flavor is a bit addictive. Wholesome has recently introduced 100% pure grade A organic maple syrup sourced from Canada and the US to support North American family farms. Allulose is a delicious zero-calorie sweetener that tastes like sugar with a mild, clean sweetness, no bitterness, and no aftertaste. Known as a rare sugar, allulose is naturally found in fruits like kiwi, raisins, and figs. Ours is made through a natural enzymatic process using non-GMO corn. Wholesome produces organic stevia, which is available in single-use packets as well as in a spoonable jar format. Stevia has 0 calories and 0 glycemic impact. Stevia is a plant-based sugar substitute made from the extract of leaves from the Stevia rhodiana. The stevia plant has been cultivated and used for centuries by South Americans. Stevia is an example of a high-intensity sweetener. The sweet components of the stevia leaf are steviol glycosides, which can be up to 450 times sweeter than table sugar. Since stevia is so concentrated, only a very small amount is needed. To create a sweetener for tabletop use or use in baking recipes, a natural bulking agent is added to provide volume. When you choose Wholesome, you are choosing high-quality sweeteners for baking. You're also making a choice that creates a connection way beyond your kitchen. You're choosing fair trade, organic, sustainably sourced ingredients that matter to everyone. You and your loved ones are farmers and our planet. I hope you will enjoy purchasing and using our products from Marlene's Market and will visit our website at www.wholesomesweet.com to learn more. And thank you so much for attending.
Thank you so much, Rose. That was fabulous. Well, let's see. Oh, perfect. Oh, everyone's saying thank you, Rose. Oh, yes, I am so curious about that allulose. Am I saying it right?
Allulose, yes.
Allulose. Well, I will definitely have to try that. And yeah, I'm so curious about it. It's like, ooh, because um, some people can't handle stevia, and so that would kind of be like a better alternative, right?
Yes, allulose has no sugar alcohols for those seeking to avoid sugar alcohols.
So that's a uh, great replacement without having to sacrifice your sweet tooth. Um, I did wanted to let everyone know that all of their fabulous products, the Wholesome Sweeteners, are 30% off this month for the month of November. So definitely stop on into any Marlene's and uh, pick up a fabulous product. Um, I just love that y'all also have your own pancake syrup. I didn't know this, and I'm definitely gonna have to get some of that too because um sometimes I'll just use maple syrup, but sometimes it's a little bit kind of a more robust flavor that I don't want with my kind of light and fluffy pancakes. So,
Absolutely. Our organic pancake syrup is made with organic invert sugar, this very clean ingredient deck. It's absolutely delicious and it appeals to children in the household who may want that traditional table syrup on their pancakes or breakfast items, while adults may choose maple syrup, perhaps for cooking or baking. So we are proud and pleased to provide both offerings to satisfy everyone in the household.
well, thank you for providing a wonderful presentation tonight, and I just fell in love with the products even more.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this. I really appreciate it. We value Marlene's Market and all of your customers. And thank you everyone who attended.
Thank you so much.